Now, in a world increasingly filled with uncertainty, war and division, could religion offer a solution to help unify Britain and bring people together?
Well, let's hope so. Joining us now to discuss this are Rabbi Jonathon Romain, Imam Dr. Sheik Ramzy and Catholic Voices spokeswoman Madeline Page. Good morning to you all, and what a wonderful thing this is to do on a Sunday especially. Can I start with you, Rabbi Jonathon Romain? You join us. So we live in times that are sadly typified by division. How do you think we can start coming together to heal the rifts that we are currently seeing on the streets of Britain?
Well, I wouldn't put the position as bad as you put it. I think actually, despite the media attention about protests and counter-protests, most Muslims and Jews and Christians have more in common than divides us, whether it's the cost of living or the English football team results or rail strikes. And most Jews, Christians and Muslims, even if we disagree about certain things, and particularly at the moment about Israel-Gaza, we can agree to disagree. And in fact, just the other day, I got together with my local Iman and Vicar, and we said a joint prayer for peace, and it didn't change the world, but what we did do is give a message to our respective congregations that what's going on over in the Middle East is nothing religious, it's political, so it doesn't need to divide us. And also we're very, very clear that whatever the conflict going on over there, we shouldn't import it over here. So there are some difficulties at the moment. There are some tensions. It would be daft to deny it. But by and large, we're on the same page.
Yes, I believe, I'm sorry if you don't mind, I believe 100%, of course, I agree with the Rabbi. He's a very close friend of mine. We see each other, many years that we're working together, and it does not, it should not affect us, something which happened outside, and we are all brothers, and of course, shalom, Rabbi, shalom, and may God bless you for that. Is a very, very important for us to keep the integration, to keep the cohesion, to keep the especially that three religion, which is a divine religion, together, because we believe in one God, and of course we keep each other and respect each other, care for each other in the time of, for example, some rabbis, some people come in, Jewish people come and say, we are a bit scared. I said, you shouldn't be, especially from the Muslim and anybody else's. Let's work together. It will pass. It definitely will pass, and we are all going to be stay together again. We had many conflicts before, which it passed. Muslim, Christian, Jew, and other staying together. We showed the integration, we showed the cohesion, we showed the brotherhood, we showed the good of the religion, how they can be merciful and brothers and sisters together. Rabbi's children is like my children is like a rabbi children. Absolutely, there is no doubt about it, and the Christian as well.
Okay, Madeline, let's bring you in on that point, because that sounds great. You know, brotherly love, coming together, all of us want that, but that's not happening at the moment, and we do have some tensions. What can be done about that?
I think from the Christian perspective, it's forgiveness. That's what we are taught to do, and that doesn't mean forgive and forget, but that's turning the other cheek. And it's not easy. It's constantly making the choice to forgive. I believe forgiveness is a choice, and what makes it harder is if you forgive someone and then they commit a wrong to you again, we're still called to continue to forgive and to have that constant flow of love, of kindness and charity towards that person. And I think that's something that unites many faiths, that we come from this place of love, of, love thy neighbour. It's, we learn it in primary school, don't we? The golden rule. And I think that needs to, we need to be reminded of that.
I think, Madeline, just staying with you here for a minute, for the first time last year, less than 50% of the country identified as religious at all, and we're expecting to see that number continue to decline. As you say, I mean, all the major world religions preach a message of peace, love thy neighbour, etc. But with more and more people turning away from religion altogether, are those values sort of disappearing in our culture?
I think perhaps, although I think regardless of of your religion, I think we can be unified in our humanity. There's a really beautiful quote from Pope John Paul II where he says, you know, regardless of your state in life, regardless of your calling, as human beings, we are all called to the sort of the fundamental principle of humanity and of recognising that humanity in others. Now, I may, as a Christian, may say that that's because I see Jesus Christ present in every single person. But even if I am of no faith, you know, we are all human, and that is something that is very important and unifying.
Can I bring you back in now, Rabbi Jonathon Romain? What kind of things are you hearing from the Jewish community in synagogues now, just in conversation, in your friendship circles? Because we hear a lot in the media about the rise in anti-Semitism. We hear a lot of concern. We saw some terrible stories of children too afraid to wear their blazers or go to school, of vandalism. A lot of people saying London in particular feels unsafe. Is that being echoed, or are these bad messages being signal boosted too much?
There's two answers to that. The one is, yes, at the moment that's true. And there's a genuine worry that, yes, of course, people can have different views about Palestine and Israel and Gaza. The trouble is when Israel views morph over into anti-Jewish views. And when people for peace start using slogans like from the river to the sea, which actually, although it sounds poetic, means the extinction of Israel and therefore the extinction of all Jews. So we're worried by that sort of rhetoric, which isn't helpful. But going on to the positive side, it's not just enough to sort of say nice things, like the three of us have done. That the real way forward is to do things together. And you're quite right, religion is going down in this country in terms of attendance. But that's religious worship. People aren't into praying and kneeling and bowing. What they are more into is sort of religious values, such as social justice or kindness or charity, as Madeline's just been saying. So, for instance, today is actually a very significant day across all faiths. It's called Mitzvah Day or Good Deed Day. And actually, in my synagogue and synagogues around the country, we are doing good deeds, not just for ourselves, but for the wider British community. And we're doing it with local Christians and local Muslims, such as going to local parks and removing the rubbish, visiting people in care home who don't normally get a visit, or cooking for local food banks. And we're doing this as Jews because that's part of our Jewish faith, but we've invited local Christians to do it together. So it's not just, we're moving beyond nice cups of friendly tea, but going into positive social action together. And by working together, by squelching in the mud in parks together and picking up leaves or rubbish or plastic bottles, we're actually really bringing religion into everyday action and seeing the positive side, even if there are political differences that annoy us every now and then.
And Dr. Sheik Ramzy,
yes.
I saw you nodding along there.
Yes, what we have, of course, again, I agree with our brother Rabbi. What we have, the important thing is, of course, he said instead of course, we are brothers and sisters, and so on. So, what else we can do at the moment? We cannot ignore what is happening in the state of Israel and Palestine or Gaza, and of course, we can see, for example, whole world coming to ask for the ceasefire, and the ceasefire is in my heart, and of course many countries. Therefore,
but the whole world isn't asking for a ceasefire, with the greatest respect.
Yeah.
The whole world isn't.
I'm talking about where we're talking about when I can see the majority, maybe majority, few are there. But the ceasefire is if you think about the humanitarian. For example, when we had to the Ukraine, the mother and children all gone out. You understand? All mother children come out. But why they don't, for example, we say, why they don't let the mother and children come out and after that do something which they want to? Mother and children, I don't think they are going to be involved in the Hamas, or so we call it. Therefore, what we need to do, and another thing is that, of course, I would like to tell the rabbi, and I get the Rabbi Mervis, the chief rabbi, which is a friend of mine, God bless him, he's excellent man. We want to say, for example, when you say these people are animal, you know, these people, for example, many of these people are animal, and we have to treat him as animal. This is wrong, because I remember, of course, one of the what's this called MPs, Leila Moran, where she's got a sister, he's got a mother there.
Yeah.
The mothers and the families and the SMPs, which she got a family there. Are their families animal? Is his mother animal? And while he is there, these are the something which hurt us, and we would like to ask.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes,
I just want to interject, Dr. Ramzy. A great many people will be saying the responsible thing to do at the moment, from an imam to yourself, is to call for calm.
Absolutely.
Within the Muslim community, because like it Olympic, we can sit around and talk sweet words and talk about brotherhood and coming together.
Absolutely.
But on the streets, there are tensions. We see them every Saturday. Yesterday we saw them nationwide.
That's right.
So what kind of calling for calm messages are you putting out?
I would like to say, of course, the common message, especially in these countries, respect the Jews, respect the Christians, respect the religion, is passes. These will passes, the conflict passes. And of course, just respect. Be care for them, as I am saying. The Imam of the, for example, Imam of one of the representative Muslim in the United Kingdom, I come and say, respect these brothers. These children are like my children because they are all innocent. Therefore, it is a way which we can go forward. We can tell the people. However, when they can see in the television and radio and so on, which they call their family animal or their family, that may not help. Therefore, we would like to say, of course, I'm asking my rabbi and Rabbi Mervis, which are very powerful people. I can say, perhaps you advise the government of Israel, which see what he says, bring attention down. If they bring attention down there, and after that, we sort it out here as well. But if they want to make it as an animal and is a non-Muslim and a subhuman, it may not work, because I can't, no matter how many, it is a 4 million Muslim here, and especially young, and as they see this happening, they see these children, for example, get damaged and killed, and so.
But then, can I interject again? I'm sorry.
Yes.
We also saw pictures of young Muslim people, particularly in London, ripping down those posters of Israeli children that have been kidnapped. I'm sorry to put difficult questions to you, but we must accept that this is happening and it is causing tensions. And I just put to you again, the responsible thing to do is to call for calm.
Absolutely. We are always calling for calm. We are always calling integration, brotherhood, especially Muslim, Jews and Christian, because we have these are divine religion, and we have a one God. Therefore we ask all. At the moment I'm on TVs, I'm asking all brothers and sisters, Muslim brothers and sisters, respect. They are not, these are something happening in Israel and Gaza, but they are not, they should not be, they should affected in this country. We are loving religious people, which we love the Christian, love the Jews, love the Muslim, and the other one which is come to our religion. If I do not believe that, for example, the Jewish religion and the Christian religion, I am not a Muslim. Therefore, if anybody asks me, are you Muslim and Christian and Jew? I say, I am the three. Because it is in our Holy Quran, and we love them as well. Of course, what we need to do again, both sides, it works both sides.
Yeah.
The Jewish people should respect as well, should help. We all helping together is a unity. You cannot point to the Muslims say doing that.
Okay, Olivia.
Can I just ask what you make of that, Jonathan? Do you think the Jewish community too has a role to play in this?
Yeah, in fact, I can give a very good example of the way forward, because last week there was a joint, not demonstration, but gathering actually at 10 Downing Street, Jews, Christians and Muslims, and we said, right, we're going to come together, we're going to call for peace, and we're going to have no slogans, no banners, no flares. We're really going to sort of concentrate on the problem, which is bringing peace. We're not going to attack each other. And that way, we try to detoxify the demonstrations and concentrate what's really important, which is not flagging off each other, but calling for peace, both there and, of course, here on the streets of London too.
Madeline, of course, this conflict has really brought into the spotlight the point at where religion and politics meet. And we've had, the Archbishop of Canterbury weighing in, as he's weighed in before on other issues that some people think are political. And I've heard quite a lot of Christians, quite often conservative Christians, who think that it's not really the role of someone like the Archbishop of Canterbury to weigh into a crisis like this with a sort of overtly political message. Would you agree with them, or do you think that it is the role of religious leaders to have a political say on the important issues of the day?
I think we have a say insofar as it is what our religion teaches, and ultimately a lot of politics is morality, it's ethics, it's how do we treat each other within our country, and we can't as Christians, as Muslims, as Jews, we can't necessarily separate that. So sometimes it may manifest itself in particular opinions that can be political, but I think the root of it underneath is what are our beliefs, what do we think is right and wrong, and how are we going to facilitate that within the governance of a country. And I just to sort of echo what both of you are saying, I think it's so important to remember that this situation in Israel and Gaza has a very, very complicated history, and there is no one individual on the streets of Britain who is solely responsible for this. It's very complex. It goes back decades, some might say millennia, and we need to remember that not get sort of caught up in the emotion, which is a very human response and very easy to do, but exactly as they both said, bring that peace and that service.
OK, today is a coming together and we're trying to find peace. Could I ask each of you in turn, if you have one message to the nation of how we could come together, what would that be? Can I start with you, please, Rabbi Jonathon Romain?
I think all faiths share that famous line, love your neighbour as yourself. It rolls off the tongue very easily. We don't always do it. So why not try doing that today? Love your neighbour as yourself. Leave for 24 hours, see how it works.
Excellent message. Thank you very much. And what about you, Madeline?
I'd say forgiveness. That doesn't mean forgetting, but continue to forgive, regardless of the harm that's been done. Take a deep breath and just forgive.
And finally, Dr. Sheik
Yes, I believe, of course, no hate, love and peace for all people, and especially the religious. We have a Muslim, Christian, and Jewish, which the religion of God. And of course, another thing, the last thing I would say, I pray to Almighty God for all, and I pray to Almighty God to bring a peace to the whole world, especially the Gaza and the Israel, which they should live together in peace, in the two-state solution by the grace of Almighty God.